Let's see here. Recapping the last episode, which, if you haven't watched it yet, was filmed at the Renaissance Festival here in Kansas City. So definitely go check that one out if you haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet. It was a phenomenal experience, and we'd like to thank everybody who came out to actually support us live. It was incredible to see all of you guys in person. So thank you for that. And the events that transpired last time.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a scouting-focused episode. Not a whole lot of things happened throughout the course of the event, of the episode itself, but a couple of the key points. You guys did finally get your first sight in person of Nethreshara. Seeing it, the structures inside being covered by rusted metals, the spikes, and other demonic-looking type of structural elements to it to cover the once beautiful structures of the Elven city, Nethreshara. And as you guys were watching, you happened to notice a large raven land behind you. Kael, utilizing some of his Oath of Ancients skills, decided to take that moment to speak with it. And in doing so, was able to gather a entirely new perspective on some of his abilities and also on the city itself, finding an entry point that is near the docks of the city as a sewage type storm drain situation. You guys have gotten close enough to see the general area there. There are, at this moment, you actually notice, jumping into where we're at right now, you actually notice that Koral has gone ahead too, to scout ahead, going invisible and taking one of the hellhounds, the one that was a little more feral looking, not as docile as the other two. And it had seemingly on its own accord, with the influence of Maze aiding in that, picked Koral up and carried her towards the city in her invisible form. At this point, you do notice, looking up into the sky, the flying creatures have seemed to slowly dwindle here a little bit, kind of receding into the clouds of smoke that rise above from the towers. And at that moment, with it being somewhat late afternoon on the second day, you get a little feel of a buzz on on your finger, the one wearing the ring. Each one of you feel this. And in your mind, you hear Mithressa, "Have you entered the city yet?"
No, not yet. I think we're about ready to enter.
We're approaching entry point now.
Don't enter yet.
Okay.
I've just gotten new information. Wait the night. We'll be arriving in the morning. The dwarves had a slight delay. Wait until about midday tomorrow before entering into the city. It is imperative. There are events transpiring there that another scout was able to actually report to me. Please wait. Do not risk yourselves unnecessarily.
Koral, did you hear that?
Yeah, I got it. I don't know if I can make it out, though. I'll try, but otherwise I'm gonna stay in here.
You stay safe.
You too.
All right. Are you guys going to wait?
Yeah, I say I definitely need a rest.
It's kind of a scout.
No, I mean, I'm telling Koral. Send the hellhound back out.
All right.
Don't want you fighting it alone.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the spell. And
I'll try. I don't know if it'll listen to me, but I'll give it a try.
And then she goes silent.
Devoured by the hellhound.
Yeah, Koral could kill it.
Actually, Koral has killed stuff that is actually more powerful than this 2 hits.
It's like she could kill it.
It still would not be an ideal scenario by any means.
The thing we want is a ruckus in the entry point.
That's true.
Exactly.
There's a hellhound biting nothing out there. What is going on?
Yeah.
so, do you guys think we should go into the sewer and hunker down there until the midday tomorrow?
What's the situation as far as our cover?
Where you guys currently are, you're right kind of near the edge of the forest itself, where it opens up a little ways into kind of this. There's rocks along the shoreline, but over into the rest of the land here, it opens up as more of a grassy area. Almost seems, especially with your general knowledge of city structure, kind of to be a defensive mechanism to allow scouts, or not scouts, but like watchmen, to be able to see if something was coming from the trees.
Right. But would the rocks provide enough cover, or?
Make an intelligence roll. Wee little dice tray.
Wait, little.
13.
13. It looks like if you were, I don't want to phrase this that seems like a thought. If you were very cautious and very calculated in your approach, it could possibly be done.
Okay.
It does seem 13 is pretty much exactly
Can I
what you
look
see.
for any?
It does seem like it would be a risk to approach this way, with it being still daytime.
Right, and I still remember the thing creeping about.
That's
In the
out
lake.
the water, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Can I look? Can I just look
don't
to
think
see if
a
there's
risk is
guards,
no.
kind of looking?
Yeah, make a perception roll.
Like, risking getting eaten by one of those things, and then
A 10.
10. You're not really seeing anything. You are noticing that there is a lot of not things, though. Like there's a big. I can't think of the right word, but
It's not a
you don't
tower.
see anything anywhere.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a fancy way to say that, but you see nothing, and it's not necessarily based on your roll.
The forest isn't like too far away, right? We could take.
You're in it.
We're in it.
Yeah, we're still in.
I mean, farther in to be in like a deeper area, yes,
Oh,
because
well.
you're in an area where the trees start to thin out,
Okay.
and maybe 20 feet ahead of you, the trees stop abruptly.
So what if?
It's not that far of a travel.
But what if we were to climb up into the trees on a branch and say, tether ourselves to a branch, cover ourselves with like beautiful, beautiful leaves, and we hide there and like sleep so we blend in?
Well, I'll blend in anyways. But
Well, we got to worry about the dragon.
yeah, that's true. But I like your plan, because then we could like break camp early in the day, like very early before the night's, the dusk, not dusk, but
I suggest we get back further.
Okay. As long as there's leaves, I'm good.
yeah, then we can like easily make it into the city by midday.
I was thinking we break back further. We take a rest now, and then under cover of night we get in, take a short rest.
I agree.
Okay, let's do that then.
Okay. Perfect. Then make stealth rolls.
Ooh. Without that. Boost.
Okay.
$19.
19.
Ooh.
Perfect. And Ilandvar?
10.
10.
14. I beat you, leaf boy.
Ilandvar.
I rolled a 4.
Okay, perfect. Well, let me tweak a couple things here. And as you guys start to head back, ironically, the largest of you with the most armor of any, just not stepping on a single branch, just
Don't have any
silent.
weapons. I'm just like,
Steps back in through the bushes. Maze, you follow with just a little slight rustling of the branches as you pass them, a little crinkle
little.
of leaves.
Oops.
Yep. And then Ilandvar, you turn and you step on a rock, and you catch yourself stepping right onto a small bundle of like twigs that were laying on the ground. Look around. Think anything would have heard you. And both you two hear it very clearly. Look back like, you know,
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Oh, it happens to all of us. Oh,
go to step again, and it's just before through the bushes. Okay. Are you guys now attempting to find a space to bed down for the evening?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll look
Okay,
for.
make a survival roll for that to find the best general location. You are looking to go up in the trees or
Yes.
down in the
I would like to go up in the
Okay.
trees. Oh, but my
Yeah, we'll
survival
look for something up in the
skills
trees. That
otherwise.
is
I'll perception roll to keep a lookout.
Okay, sounds good.
Tails. 15.
Tails.
27.
Oh, nice.
27, yeah. You go a little bit farther than you would have initially thought you needed to, but you look up and you actually find this tree that has a couple of low branches in these weird, like, kind of sporadic areas, and then above it, it kind of just opens into this wide spread, very thick-boughed tree. It looks like it'd be a perfect spot. There may even be, based on your previous knowledge of different tree structures, there may even be kind of a like divot in the center because of the way that it splays out from the point where it hits its highest.
Oh, guys, look at this. This is a black lotus tree. It's going to be a perfect place for you to stay.
I like the leaves.
If we chop it down, do we get extra magic?
No.
All right. So you guys, actually, I'm gonna have you roll this too, just because I think this is fun. Roll. You can kind of pick this however you will. Acrobatics or athletics, whichever one is better for you. So theoretically, for the two on the sides, it would be
Doesn't matter.
Nah.
Natural 20.
A 19. Rolled a 19, so plus acrobatics.
14.
okay.
So plus 4, so that's 23.
23. Okay, so the two of you like just kind of spring up and just grab one of the branches. You kind of look down at Maze, who's like, and you just like, as you're hanging there, both of you grab one of her arms, and just kind of yank her up.
I was just like, is it? Whee!
And she's like, grabs onto a branch, and you guys just kind of race each other up there. If you want to actually race, each of you on D20.
No, I'm going to.
It's
not going
like
to
Crouching
go much
Tiger,
higher up
Hidden
than
Dragon.
Than the thickest bough that I can possibly
I will
find.
try to. I'll try to go like
He's probably
higher
super
than.
light.
Okay, roll
Yeah.
a D20.
Yeah, he's lightweight, I'm not.
Yeah.
To 17.
Okay.
Plus. Okay.
You make it right up to the top there, and you do in fact find that it is bowled in a little bit, and there's, it's not beautiful there, but there's
Used to
a
be.
lot of dead leaves that are in there, and it seems almost like a nest of sorts.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Can I check to make sure it isn't actually a nest?
For that, I'll call it survival.
Okay.
Do another survival roll.
Oh God. 11.
11. Okay. It doesn't appear that it has anything in it,
Okay. Okay.
or that anything has recently been in it.
And I'll just kind of like whisper down to them like, I'll take the first and second watch.
Okay.
Okay.
Are the two of you gonna bed down right
Yeah.
away?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Going to get some rope out. Just tie myself around.
Okay.
Yeah, same. I have rope.
Okay.
Yeah, secured to a branch
I'm not doing that. I'll just hang up there.
like a bat.
Not as a bad.
Performance roll, Kael.
To tie a rope?
Yeah. It's not a high DC. I just want to see what happens.
I mean, it's a 7.
All right. Because
Why a performance check?
of how good your knot is? Okay. I mean, because I was doing the same thing.
Can you think of a better thing?
Would that be more of a survival?
Well, I mean, like, performance is like
Like,
about
show.
hey, razzle dazzle.
which is it's a charisma.
Okay, well, I rolled a 19, so I ribbon danced with my rope
Form of
and
entertainment.
tied myself very nicely. After doing this beautiful ribbon dance, that's how I tie myself to it.
How about this? Sleight of hand, and I got a 5.
Same result. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So yours comes into play later.
Like I was gonna like.
Wow.
But
There's a better roll, but it's worse for me. Trust me.
Anadar, roll perception for your watch itself as the other two
Oh my
bed
God.
down in their most comfortable area. All your 20s before the game.
I know, he did.
He rolled like 3 or
He's like, look, this
I-
20 rolled to this to make two 20s.
11.
11. Okay. So, from where you are, it's a little hard to see through the tree leaves themselves. While there are dead leaves down, the tree itself isn't, bare leaves. So it's a little tough to see through. You catch a few glimpses of what seem to be like clouds, maybe kind of going.
I would during this time. I would also like to kind of study.
some coyotes in the background.
Yeah. No, I would like to study Wustabass a little bit more.
Okay.
Like now that I noticed that these runes actually spelled out a word in Orcish, I want to kind of like look through and see if there's any.
It's the words, by the way.
Yeah. I want to look through.
Investigation roll.
Okay.
Smart.
With advantage, actually, too. I think I gave you advantage last time because you speak Orcish.
Okay. Investigation.
Yeah. And then I will pull.
That's a 10.
10, really? Okay. Well, in that case, I won't pull up.
We're just going to tell you the same word
With
you already
advantage was
know.
a 10.
Oh, really? With
A
advantage?
9 and a 2.
Oh.
So, looking at it, you clearly, of course, see the same word that you had found previously. But as you look around, it seems that the characters themselves are of a slightly different dialect than you're used to. They're similar, but they don't seem coherent when you actually go to try to say words.
Can I try channeling my rage to make it glow again? Maybe making it easier to see?
Roll a d20. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
You want it to glow in the dark.
I rolled a 7.
7. You try to focus your energy and think back to a time when you were you had a reason to be angry. You had some type of challenge in front of you, and it's just not really hitting. The area you're in is a pretty peaceful area, and you're very focused on what you have coming up. So you just don't get that rage feeling, that anger that kind of seemed to trigger things before, and it just doesn't quite come to fruition.
Okay.
However, your watch does go through without apparent issue. Nothing that you're aware of or notice happens. And at that point, you can choose to rouse.
I will rouse Maze.
Okay.
How do you do that?
So I'm going to take one of like oh gosh, is there any nuts or anything in this tree?
Roll for it.
Roll for it.
Investigation.
Okay.
Got one for you.
Oh boy, that's only a 10.
Yep, 1.
There's 1.
You have no idea where it is.
One.
No. I don't right beside you. It's
Okay.
3.
Okay. So I find something and kind of like toss it down to her.
Just kind of.
Yeah. Hey, Maze.
What?
Maze King. It's your turn to take watch.
Okay. I barked at him.
Perfect. So,
Okay.
Anadar, what are you going to do while she's on watch?
I'll meditate.
Okay, perfect. So you're going to focus meditate.
Yeah.
And Kael is still sleeping.
So do
And,
you actually sleep?
Maze.
My meditation is my sleeping. That's how I recharge.
That's weird.
It's a specific feature of being fully elvish.
Yeah.
Why can't I get bit by an elf and get that ability? No, I had to
don't
get bit
think
by a
that's-
dog.
Don't think that's how it works.
Oh, we'll test that later.
I'm not going to bite you.
Okay, so
I'll make you bite me.
perception roll for your
Me? Okay.
watch.
Ew. That's a 6.
Okay, nothing. You see absolutely nothing the entire watch. You're just like
I'm just playing with the leaves. Yeah, just like
just kind of like you know how sometimes you'll pick up the little.
this one's
helicopters,
George,
watch them fall?
and it's just
kind of that. You're seeing like how many spins you can get off of each one.
Which one?
And
That one was faster. Yes.
and none of them are really seeming to spin quite as good as you'd like.
I know. Just disappointing.
Just still carrying.
I see. I'll still keep trying.
Kael, you actually, after not seeming to dream for some time, you feel cold and you open your eyes to see yourself in that same position, flying over the mountain range. Now more familiar with your active life. And as you see this vision, you start to feel like you're falling, and you start awake, and you've fallen out of the tree. You're caught by your ankles, swinging back and forth.
Would I notice this
far
on my
down is it?
watch?
You wouldn't.
How far down is it?
Still doing leaf
it's
races.
Only, well, I mean, it's 50 foot rope. We'll just say you only fell like 10 feet, and so you're still just kind of swinging there, just above the ground. You didn't actually hit the ground or anything.
Right, but how far to the ground?
10 feet. We'll say you're right in the middle. 20 feet's kind of a tall tree, but we'll say
10 feet straight to the ground's a long drop.
yeah.
I guess athletics to try to hoist myself up.
I saw that. Just kind of paused and then went.
21.
Ooh.
Yeah, you have like you
Nice.
sit there and you kind of pause for a second, looking around, see if
I'm
anybody
like,
noticed. And you're just kind of like,
And climb up.
get yourself back up and you're all positioned
I just
properly.
take off
again.
the rope. I'm like, at this point.
Yeah, perfect.
Although
So-
like, it saved me.
Yeah, it did work out for you. But anywho, you do notice now the morning light does seem to be kind of starting to blue the area for you. Elandwar, you feel as if your meditation is kind of coming to a close and your eyes slowly open as well. The sun rising in this area, revealing that it is now the next day.
We survived.
We survived.
You survived the night,
All right. I'll get
least
up.
of the troubles.
Climb down.
Okay. Yep. So you guys climb down, start making your way back towards the city. You're going to aim for kind of the same general approach, right?
Yeah.
Your previous
Yeah, we
goal.
couldn't
Yeah.
find anything better, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually true. You guys did look. So
Coral, you there?
silence. After like a few moments of waiting, it's still just silence.
He's probably still asleep. Probably just trying to be quiet.
Could be. Yep.
Could be.
And as you guys start to make your way towards the city itself, make stealth rolls for me for this portion.
I'm also going to cast Pass Without a Trace.
Oh, plat.
Perfect.
Plat.
Oh, good.
We'll do that one.
With Pass Without Trace.
Woo!
God.
So I got an 11?
You got,
that would've-
I rolled
Natural one.
on that
Yeah.
one.
Same here. Hey.
I rolled a 14 plus 10, so whatever. that
How's the
24.
biggest one the most
5,
quiet?
6, 16.
Sweet dice. I don't roll
So
one.
you got 16 total.
Yeah, 16 total.
Okay, and Maze, your total is
10.
11.
Wait, what
it's
are we
gotta
doing?
be
No,
at least
11.
11.
No, wait. We're doing what?
Stealth.
Stealth. Oh, never mind. So that was
15.
15, yeah.
Okay.
I got distracted by the nat one. I'm like, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yours was 14 or 16?
16 total.
Okay. As you guys
Thank God for
step out from the trees, Kael grabs both of you, pulls you back, and shadowy figure kind of flies over you, arcs across the water, and then goes back up into the clouds above. And you guys slowly start to make your way forward, kind of going from rock to rock, keeping your eyes out above and towards the city itself as well. As you start to get closer to the city, you do see the entryway there. You're right up by the docks now, where all these warships were moored up. And looking down into the tunnel itself. Make perception rolls for me.
Not with that dice.
Nat 20.
Oh, God.
Because I got a 4.
That'd be a 24.
Oh, that's
I can't read what that says. No, that's a 3.
That would be a weird thing about being in the night.
Right? That's a 3. So perception. 3,
Okay.
6,
So-
9,
Maze,
12.
you actually, with being a nat 20, you pointed out to the other two as well, so you guys do all see this. The two of you kind of having to squint a little bit. Maze, what you very clearly see is this large figure kind of steps forward. It's misshapen, various boils and bulbous protrusions from its head. It's got a very small head, but its shoulders seem very hunched forward and wide, while its arms, one arm, its right arm, is very skinny and just kind of hangs down to its side. Its left arm, very muscular, with thick, banded muscles and a large, kind of balled up hand. It sneers towards you. Its one good eye, kind of big and massive, this bright orange color, just kind of shining out from the tunnel. It looks at you and is just kind of smashes its arm into the side of the tunnel, and it caves in right in front of it.
Oh.
As it caves in, and like right at the last moment, Maze, you're the only one who actually really catches this part. You see it just kind of smile and step back before the last bit of rock falls down. At almost the same moment as this, you hear and the gates above the port slowly swing inward and come to a stop.
I think we're expected.
They already know that we're here.
How far is this cave from the water?
It butts right up to the water. It's actually a storm drain. It's not a sewer, it's a storm drain. And it butts right up to the Lake of Dreams.
Let's see. Maze isn't happy with that smirk that he did. I would like to control water and blast water right through that, because we know water can destroy almost anything with enough force. Basically, to create a funnel to go in towards those rocks, to essentially shoot them towards that jerk face.
Okay.
How much force would you need?
Because it's not really full.
100 feet of water.
That's a lot of water.
Redirect flow would technically be probably acceptable on that.
That's the one I was thinking of, redirect, because I don't need to part it, and I don't need to cause flooding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a spell attack roll.
Ooh. Well, essentially that's a 4, but I'm trying to though. Okay, that's a 7 plus 4. Okay.
11.
Yeah, 11.
So you take this water and you kind of spin your hand over it, and it comes up and just shoots forward. As it does, it crashes into where the tunnel itself was and just shoots up into the air and then kind of flows back out. Seems to have not had very much of an effect. It does move some of the rocks, and kind of some of the dirt itself kind of seeps back into the lake from there, but it doesn't look like it actually went through structurally.
Oh, okay. Dang it. Jerk face.
I think they know that we're here now.
No, they knew that before I even did that.
I know, and that's concerning.
Koral, are you there? You should be awake now, right?
Still hear nothing from her. Waiting about 60 seconds. Slight bit longer. Nothing.
She might have been captured.
She's craftier than that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think she has to be quiet.
All right, well, I guess we're the guests of honor.
Yep. Whew.
I look at the gate, make sure it's not for something to stomp out before we go in.
Perception roll that, yeah. If.
'Kay.
If. There's something there. 15.
15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15
Are you kind of checking this as you approach the gate?
Right, yeah.
Okay. So as you approach the gate itself, you notice that everything is silent. The city itself is just empty, dead silent. With that roll, you do notice little dots in each of the darkened windows. Eyes. Orange, glowing eyes, just kind of staring out. No moves are being made. They seem relatively small. You don't see anything kind of hiding like in the wake to jump out at you from behind the gates or anything. But you do see that all of the windows have these eyes just looking out at you.
Okay. How long until the assault begins?
At this point, you, based on just kind of the reference that was given to you from Nethreshara, it should be like an any minute now type of thing, based on the time of day that it feels like it is. So it should be very soon, as far as you know.
Nethreshara, we're approaching the walls now. We're in position.
That's all we. That's the only response you get from her.
You give us a signal, we'll go.
She doesn't respond to that. Based on the hurriedness of her tone previously, it seemed like she was trying to keep quiet and was very rushed in what she said. So you hear nothing back after that, and you guys are now kind of at the gates themselves. You're basically in the city right now.
Okay, I think what we should do is open the gates for everyone else as well. Let's head to one of the other gatehouses and make it easier on our friends.
Oh, open it wide open?
Not. So this one's on the south
This
side.
one's already open, but it's not.
But
like
we need
open
to
the other
one that
gates.
they're going to be going to.
Okay.
I think that would be the most helpful.
Now,
thing.
would you say is there like a rampart like up above that would probably connect from like a stone wall from one gatehouse to the other, or would we have to go through the city to get to it?
Because I've made you guys roll so much already, I'm just going to answer that. You don't necessarily know how to get up to it. It does kind of look like maybe the walls could be stood on top of. You don't see anything up on them though, and you do see kind of like a couple of higher windows sporadically placed throughout the sides of the wall itself. They are small. They're like kind of arrow slit type window areas.
Oh, I should have done that one. How tall would you say the walls are?
40 feet.
Okay. That wouldn't work. I was just going to crash waves against it to raise up.
Yeah, no, they're quite tall walls.
I can only go 20 feet up.
Yeah.
Okay, that won't work.
You know what I've got?
What?
50 feet of rope and a magic grappling hook ring.
I forget you have that, yes.
And an open gate in front of you too. But
Yes.
But we want to get.
We don't want to
up
go
to the top.
we want to go up and around.
They probably have stairs on the inside.
That are
We don't wanna go
probably
into the
guarded.
hostile city.
Okay.
Not without strategy.
Okay. So the high ground then.
Right.
That
Start
is-
at the high ground, and then we can work on that. So, I don't know. Just activate the grappling hook.
Okay. Do athletics roll to do your throw for it.
8.
I'm trying to think of like a better wording for it just doesn't work. You go to
throw it up, it doesn't quite
and
get up
it
there.
just kind of like clinks into the side, and it kind of starts it slides down and kind of just barely clips onto one of the windowsill things, the arrow slits, and then just breaks off a little chunk of it and just falls in front of you again.
No one saw that. Try again. This sounds better. 16.
How long is your rope?
50
It's
feet.
a
Your
50 foot.
rope is part of the
Yeah.
spell.
Yeah.
16.
As long as I'm holding on to it, it won't disappear. So.
Yeah, you get it to secure onto there, and so you have this kind of like weird like is it? Yeah, it's your hand basically.
Right.
So you have a rope coming from your hand
Right.
and going up to this thing, almost like Spider-Man type
Right.
of a grappling hook.
Spider Paladin.
Yeah.
Spider paladin.
All right.
Spider.
So it latches on, and I go. All right. First,
Okay.
I want you to go up, then I want you, and then I'll climb up.
Okay. That's a long ways up.
So athletics or acrobatics for each one of you.
Oh, boy. Go with the chaotic dice and see how well that one does.
20, dirty.
Okay.
3.
Total.
Yeah, I rolled a 2. +1.
So Ilandwar, no trouble whatsoever. You just kind of scamper right up it. Maze, you just can't get a good handle on things. You start to kind of climb, your grip you just lose your grip every time. About 3 or 4 times,
Slippery
you're just
slippery.
like, I just can't do it.
Once I get to the top, I'm gonna just do like a quick scout, see what's
Perception.
on the inside. What's waiting for us?
That was a wild roll.
What was?
It just throws
It
it.
didn't make it in. 12. That's a 18.
Okay. Looking around, you see that the city itself seems to be empty, other than a couple of eyes in each window. Little tiny orange eyes just looking out. They're just watching you.
Oh, orange.
Okay, I'm gonna shout down to him. Like, it looks like empty in here. There's like
Yeah.
it emptied
literally
out.
the description. Like, imagine, you know what it's like if you're out in a city at like 3 in the morning and there's just plain
Yeah.
nothing, no cars, no people. It's
So,
just,
and there's nothing flying around either.
Seattle at 5 in the
Like,
morning
It
looks
looks
exactly like that.
everything just left.
Yeah.
it looks like it has been abandoned. The appearance of it right now looks abandoned. Even the smoke from the towers is now just these wispy columns. It's not the billowing smoke. It's just these little wisps of blackish gray smoke coming through.
I'll climb up, and then I'll drop down a normal rope,
Normal rope. Okay.
and I'll.
Yeah, it was totally the
hoist
rope
you
the
up there.
whole time.
Roll for climbing athletics for you, I believe.
20.
20? Yep. It's not a struggle at all for you.
All right, and I'll just let down the rope, tie it around your waist.
Oh, okay. I was gonna bet it.
Make an athletics roll for me, and if you're assisting
Sure.
in this, you
Okay.
can do it with advantage, Kael, or each by your.
Wait, I'm doing an athletics roll?
Kael.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was a 15. That was a 5, so the 15 was better.
Okay.
The athletics, I'd be a 16 total.
21.
Okay, yeah. So you get pulled up.
Okay.
Pretty well. You're able to hold on with your rolls, and you're able to just kind of hoist it
Ilandwar
right up
helps
with the
'cause
help
the
of the
advantage,
Ilandwar
yeah.
behind
Uh,
you. You're kind of just like Ilandwar. You're back there like steadying everything, and just kind of as Kael feeds the rope through, pulling it forward.
Okay.
Roll up here. Looks deserted. Do we see a way around on top of the ramparts? Okay.
Yeah, there are. So the way the city's structured, around the segment itself, so like over the top of where the gate is, on each side there's like a little guardhouse type thing that pops up higher. There are also every maybe say 50 feet, 50-ish feet, there's another one of these guardhouses. And each one has like an actual door on it.
all right, so we need to go to the one where they're lining up.
Yeah, well, let's go to Nethreshara first. I am kind of concerned either the army completely left, or they just went and faced either the dwarves or Nethreshara head on.
And either way, we need to be able to
We need to get there
get that
fast.
Yeah.
intelligence.
Okay. So let's go to Nethreshara.
We should.
So that would be.
we should at least like ring Coral to let her know we're in the city just
Yeah,
in case.
okay.
If that's what she's waiting for.
Good.
You want
Do it.
to talk to her?
It's your idea.
Hey, Coral, just so you know, we made it into the city. We hope you're safe.
Still no response from her.
And then let's just go to the gate.
Okay.
As you guys are going through, who is leading and attempting to open the doors?
I don't want to do
I'll
that.
leave.
Okay, good.
So you get to the first door, and it seems to be kind of like damaged. It's kind of broken off of its hinges a little bit. Slowly kind of walk through, creaking it open. Looking in, it's dark, but the light from outside kind of lightens it a little bit. It is dim light overall, even outside though. You look through, and it doesn't seem like there's anything in there. Making your way through to the other side, that door is also kind of damaged. Seems like this whole specific building was damaged here.
Right.
So this one doesn't give you any trouble. However, as you get to the second one, you come to the door and it is locked.
Okay.
Deal with that.
Lando, I'll get your bow ready.
Okay, I'll get out Woostabast.
So I get a two-handed great axe, right?
Okay.
And I just start chopping at the door.
Breaking the lock.
Make attack rolls. Do 3 individual ones,
Yeah.
so 3 by themselves.
Yeah,
attack rolls.
19 for the first, 20 for the second, dirty 20, and 19 for the third.
Okay, so you break right through it without any difficulty, really.
All right, so I break it, and I just turn, and I go, Lando, what's in there?
Alright, I kind of look in there with Woostabast.
Same as the other one. It's dimly lit, but there is nothing in there.
There's nothing here. There's still nothing here.
Okay, will I proceed? Is the door on the other side locked?
Yes.
All right, unlock it, go through.
Smart. It's locked from the inside.
Yes.
Right.
All you had to do was unlock the second one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, based on the way that I've structured this,
Gonna be
the
4 more doors.
come to is also the same
All right,
situation.
same thing, Lando.
Okay.
This is a large city here too, so
We're just getting the doors open.
The lowest roll is an 11.
you strike into it, and your axe kind of seems to get caught on some of the metal banding. This one does just enough to actually open as well, though. So same story with this one.
Yeah.
The inside.
Run through.
Okay, and then the third one of these.
Unlock the other door as we go through.
Right.
Break,
I
unlock,
assume
break,
that since you
unlock.
did it the
Yeah.
first time, you kind of had the knowledge to just do it the second time.
Lowest one was a 10.
Okay, so this one, as you hit it the third time, previously being able to break through, it just kind of, and you kind of yank the axe back out, and it's broken but not open. The latch itself.
I'm gonna run into the door.
Okay, make an athletics roll.
Oh god. Athletics.
Yeah.
Maze will walk up and just to show off, unarmed strike, like palm strike the door. God, what is that?
My shoulder. Oh, that hurts.
At least the base roll is 18 right now. Where's my attack? I know I have an unarmed strike. Wow,
Plus
it's-
4,
Oh yeah, so
22.
22 on that. It's a 5-foot reach, unarmed strike. I feel like
Take 2 points of damage from that.
God, yeah.
That's funny.
I felt like 4 was too much. 4 twice as like the rolls of disadvantage on the D4. So I was like, half. That makes a lot of sense. So 2. And
It was a 20. Was it? What did we say? 20.
so you definitely strike.
Yeah, it was like
As
20.
for your
20
attack roll,
22 is what I was saying.
what was your actual like damage for your unarmed strike?
Oh, the damage I did not.
Have
It
unarmed
is 2.
It just 2.
March.
Yeah, 2 bludgeoning. Yeah, nothing.
Just enough to like hear something snap, and the door just kind of like swings open.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
It was like the weakest thing ever, but it was like just enough to get
I
over
totally loosened that for you.
You know, I let go of the axe.
I'm sorry.
And I'm just like,
the damages.
okay.
And this one is the one where you make it into, and it's over the top of the eastern gate here.
Okay.
Do we see like a winch or anything that looks like it's something that would open gates?
Interesting. I'm trying to avoid putting something stupid here, but I have like a concept for the city that would actually be really cool. I guess let's add it to the other city. Yes, you see a winch. Like imagine the idea of like the central seat of power actually controls the gates based off of some kind of magical connection. I think that's the way the city would normally function. However, it looks like to make do, since a rightful person for sitting on the throne is not currently sitting on it, it seems that the incursion itself has actually affixed these kind of old, gnarled-looking chains around through to hook into the gates themselves, and they've kind of created their own winch system in here.
Okay.
Miss Vanessa, the gate is open,
Okay. Which you guys do. You guys do get the gate actually open there.
but the city is completely empty.
It seems empty.
There are eyes inside the buildings, but no troops in the streets. We don't see anything in the skies. Nothing in the guard towers.
This is very unusual. Be careful, but if we could have any more information on what they are attempting to do here, it would be very helpful.
And the only notion I could have is that they're demons. They could just blow up the city once we get in.
I don't think they would do such a thing. Not here.
Do you think
After what they've done to take control of it.
Do you think it'd be better to head to the keep, or to help the dwarves?
It is your life to do what you feel is the best. I will leave that decision up to you. I cannot make it for you.
Very well. What do you guys want to do?
Well, there's nothing here in the city right now, is there?
Not that we know of.
The dwarves are an army.
And what is our mission? It's to help Nethreshara, right?
Yes, and
Get to her city. So that's what we should do.
you want to head into the woods and escort her in?
I feel like that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Seems to me as if there's not much escorting to be done as I look out
No,
into the
true.
field.
Nothing there.
Is there nothing there? Should I perception or is it?
So, you don't see anything there, but this is a group of highly trained, extremely skilled rangers led by a queen infused with the power of a god.
Right. Right.
So we probably
Right time.
So no, you don't need the perception roll that, but you do not see them. Yeah.
Would,
I mean, like, I don't see an army in the
we
field.
can scout out the keep. Maybe?
well, I wonder, would demons show up as evil if we detect good and evil? Like, the stone isn't evil.
I get a feeling that this place has been 100% corrupted.
Okay.
Dale passed out the first time you did that.
That's what we're in
I don't want to do that
Bay,
again. I
right?
don't want to do that again.
Yeah, he's afraid to do that again.
This place is desecrated to some extent.
Gotcha. So you'll go blind if you keep
Clearly,
staring at it.
obviously, based on the visual components of the structures here, quite desecrated.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out a way of detecting life.
Well, you see,
I mean, I can
what
detect
appears
death.
to be things alive. You see glowing
see the
little
eyes
red
in the-
embers in the windows.
windows.
Do you want to investigate those? Or let them be?
What do we know about the location of where the slaves are? No.
From when I saw them, they were in the streets with everything
We're
else.
kind of everywhere.
everywhere.
Different little clusters and groups being
And they didn't have orange
do this
eyes.
desecration. They were the ones, in general, some of the lesser fiendish entities were also physically assisting in this, but it was mainly the slave labor that was actually constructing the various barriers and coverings and idols that you do still see throughout the city.
All right. I think our best option while we're going through and investigating the city is to try to find as many slaves as we can.
And also keep an eye out for the drain thing, because that large butt face was in there. Could come out into the city.
Yeah, that's the only hostile creature we've seen.
So I was hoping to find the drain and just block it off from this side too. Why not?
Okay, I'm gonna start leading them, and I'll lead them towards the keep as we're looking for.
Yeah, because
everything.
you'd be more familiar from your
Yeah.
So you guys do
your bird trip.
you clamber down from the wall itself. You get down into the city streets. The city itself is tiered, and so as you start to kind of go through, you will be kind of rising up above and almost getting to a point, like you will definitely get to a point where you'll actually be above even where the vantage of the wall itself was. As you make your way through, you get a multitude of blocks away into the city, to where you've taken a couple turns and twists, and you're out of sight of the wall itself at this point. You don't see the gate from where you are because it's not necessarily a straight in shot. There are some angles here that you've had to take. You start to hear this kind of like chains kind of rustling, dragging along stone. Silence. And then you hear that again on multiple locations. Side, in front, behind. You look about, looking directly behind you, there's nothing there. As you continue forward, you start to hear this boom, 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 which continues. I had a loop track.
So drum beat, gotcha.
It just continues. This boom, 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 boom,
Drums.
a frigid, cold
Birth
wind
drums.
just rushes out from the epicenter of the city, followed immediately by this extremely warm wave of hot, dry wind that just through you. It's almost like a sandstorm without the sand. And the smoke that was just wisping from the tops of the towers begins to just black clouds billowing. It's more excessive than you saw even previously before entering the city. Is billowing and billowing from every single tower top. Everything that's a higher level than 2 stories is just as if it's on fire inside of it, but no fire itself seems to be appearing. The drumming continues, coming from everywhere around you now. At this moment, as the clouds thicken and darken even further, the various flying demons, devils, and other dark creatures begin to descend from the air in hidden spaces within those clouds. They shrieking this, followed by laughter. But none of them are directly coming towards you. A few of them are looking at you. Most of the ones laughing are just kind of leering towards you. And they continue just flying in these circles around the city, expanding out a little farther each time to where now 3 or 4 times as many as you had seen previously before approaching the city are now pouring from these clouds and circling around above. In front of you, as you guys start to walk forward even farther, the ground itself explodes, taking out the entire street. Jumping up from the ground, a massive figure, large red muscles, hands the size of a lawnmower, each hand. This thing is 20 feet tall. Its horns come out almost in like a minotaur style horns. Its face stretched out into a snout with jagged, sharp teeth. Wings unfurl behind it. It leans forward and towards you. As it does this roar, heat washes over you. A heat so intense it causes you to wince back, not doing any damage, but just so much that your skin can barely bear it.
Open the oven.
I think we found our welcoming party.
Suddenly it starts to step forward. The ground shaking in front of it, cracking and forming around each foot that it steps forward. It takes one hand and makes a fist, the other as well, and as it does this, 2 flaming double-headed battle axes appear. Steps forward again. You hear and jumping over you, it's the large green figure of Athalion, his silken war robes blowing in the wind. He slides across the ground, bringing his sword up, facing the Balor that is twice his height. He is 9 feet tall, standing over all of you, twice your height almost, and just looks into its eyes. Puts the sword up, and he turns his head back to you.
Move onwards towards the center of the city. There are the horrors for you. This one is mine.
And he turns back to it.
I've been waiting for you for some time, Balazar.
That'll work.
Now you will die.
And he kind of stretches up himself and doubles his form, matching nearly, slightly shorter than the height of this creature. He pulls his sword back and rushes together as this happens. They cling their weapons together. Are you guys participating or fleeing here?
Dude, I'm doing as yes.
As he
says the
rushes
move.
forward, I also rush forward.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to
I
grab
stand
him.
next to him.
No, I'm gonna try to grab him and pull him into an alley.
Make a strength roll thingy to grapple check. And I assume you're resisting this, so strength for as well.
9.
Competition, basically.
18.
Okay.
Okay. So, Ilandvar, you grab a hold of Kael's of chainmail, and it just slips right out of your grasp as he rushes forward. Thankfully, for you, you rush forward and you feel your blood go cold. And your muscles bulge out, and you hear this tearing sound from your back as your wings unfurl, and you grow in size as well. Your height in this moment is only about that 9-foot mark, giving you about 2 extra feet-ish, 2.5 extra feet or so, but still taking you up a notch. Your muscles bulge forward, your claws grow out, your snout lengthens, the tail appears, and you are rushing forward here.
Gerald Stratz, what are you doing?
Not leaving it to chance.
Very well.
I'll pull up the stats for this.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys, as you guys
Really
rush
enough.
forward,
That is me.
we're gonna go to our break.
I don't have to.
I'm gonna pull up some. Yeah, as you rush forward, and you too, you kind of made the decision.
Yeah, I'm-
help. Maze, you're still processing it, and as we do that, we're gonna go to our break. So for the code word, let me jump over here to Nightbot so that you guys don't lose your possible entry by me saying something and then not having it up. Login and all the authorizations and stuff. Our code word for the Reckless deck is going to be, I know exactly what it is, I just can't say it yet because I haven't clicked on the thing yet. Just don't enter it yet. It's going to be enter, because they've entered the city. So don't do anything just yet here. Let me get over into the word, keyword. There we go. ENTER. And enabled. So go ahead and enter the word enter into the chat, and you will get enter for a shot to win the Reckless Deck Worlds deck, which is for world building and setting the stage in your stories. We'll be right back here in about 10 minutes or so, and we will draw the winner at that time, as well as then, we got it. Mosquitoes have been flying around for a while, as well as jumping back into the story. See you guys shortly. Here we are. All right, yeah, that leveled your guys' stuff a little bit better.
Good.
I'm still dark as all get out, but you guys are like really good compared to what you were before. Hello, a little behind the scenes thing there of us just kind of chatting about the lighting. So let's see here. Our winner for tonight. Maybe somebody, maybe nobody. We rolled it. There's nobody. So
Nobody.
congratulations. We get to give this to somebody else. Getting
Future winner.
to where we are. You guys have just been almost saved by Ithalian, and then chosen to, instead of allowing him to have this fight one-on-one, to assist and, in Kael's words, guarantee the outcome. And now, anyone who is participating in any capacity in this, roll initiative.
Okay.
I will use
15.
Ew. Where's my metal dice? I need to bring that one back.
Yeah.
some paper to keep you guys tracked on here.
I feel it.
Whiteboard's over there, and also I don't know where my
It was.
whiteboard
Yeah,
marker
here it
is.
is.
The whiteboard.
Oh,
but I
so-
don't know where the marker is. So,
So it wouldn't do you any good.
unfortunately.
I got the exact same roll on 2 different dice. It was destined.
Nice. Okay, so I guess I need to roll for Valiant as well here.
We have paper and
Oh
pen.
shit. Okay.
Oh God.
He's going lads.
Well, that's not actually the problem. So anybody over 20?
Yeah.
Anybody 15 to 20?
15.
Okay. Anybody 10 to 15?
10.
The E's go one after the other.
You.
And I can't spell Alondor, but there's enough E's and R's in there that I'll know who it is.
Alendor.
And
Along the war.
9.
9? Okay.
Yeah.
Alan.
Almost a double digit.
Along the war.
Along dwarf.
Along the door.
A lawn dart.
Along dwarf.
Lawn darts are dangerous.
That's what we should do.
That's right.
Lawn dart?
No, like the dwarves should just refer to humans as long dwarves.
Right? Is that an
I think an acorn almost killed me.
squirrels are
That one hit hard.
amazing.
Yeah, it did.
Imagine like 3 of those hitting in the back, like over.
Oh yeah, there was
Felt the
like
table shake.
All in a row.
yeah. Well, that's why we thought something was walking behind
DM.
us. That's why we were like, "What
The
is
DM
that?"
put us under an acorn tree, so we were getting pelted.
But the leaves are really nice.
Under a locust tree. Okay, so
My horns will protect me.
the
Where's that?
winged and
Man.
horned, red-skinned creature here is going first.
Okay.
Based on the roll that I made the reaction about.
Home court advantage.
And you just started running towards it as we hit this point. So you are safe
Right.
from this. However,
Like what's the distance roughly?
distance that you are away from it, we'll say,
60 feet.
I was actually going to say 20. Because it was walking towards you and it burst out right in front of you. So yeah, it's about 20 feet.
Okay.
And then you ran at it.
And let's need more dice.
So it burst, and then the other guy jumped over us.
Yeah, so we got 20.
So we got like a giant between us.
Betwixt, someone said.
Betwixt. Twix.
Oh, I didn't read this part of it beforehand.
Twix.
Twix.
Yeah, that's a right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Read this part.
for reference, all of your melee attacks, your specific melee attacks, all have to be within 5 feet, right? To hit? Like
Yeah.
Your sword, your...
Yeah,
your
like all mine are like 5,
Okay.
unless I'm throwing a dagger.
That's just a thing I have to keep in mind.
It's not melee.
And,
Oh, that's right. Well, it can be.
okay,
Well, you
so...
can stab
But still, it'd be
them.
5, yeah. 5 feet seems...
At the...
5 feet is adjacent.
At the beginning of its turn, it and raises up even farther, not growing, but just standing to its full height. As it does this, this wave of heat washes off of it. You see Ithalian
Excuse me.
wince back against it, seeming to take some damage from it. And then
Did he add 2 to his save throw?
there was no save. And then,
There is no save.
yeah, and then it does make 3 attacks. Do 3 attacks against Ithalian, though, because you are still back a ways and he is right up on it, already having kind of parried away the axes.
How much do I want to shoot?
Oh boy.
Okay, so, God dang it. Let's see here. Where's the 8?
Okay, that's the melee weapon. We're not doing that.
Okay. And shit, that's right. That was 2 hits. So all this math here is all just damage against Aphelion.
Right.
Kael, you will be next. So keep in mind what you want to do.
Sounds like a threat.
I do.
Hit it with your sword.
And yeah, that one hit.
You want to roll 20s, that's what you want to do.
You definitely want to roll 20s. Okay, so that ends its turn. And that brings us to Kael.
Okay. This thing's hot. Feels hot.
Yep.
Just being kind of like 20 feet away.
Yep.
So I'm actually
like
going
you feel
to.
the warmth kind of emanating off of it.
Right, am I flying?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm actually going to fly like strafe a bit over to the
Okay.
left here, and I'm going to pull out a bow. That's right.
Okay.
I'm going
perfect.
to pepper it at range.
Okay, perfect. So make a bow attack.
21.
21 does hit.
For 3 damage.
Oh, no.
You shoot the arrow, and as the arrow comes within 5 feet of it, even though it's magical, the shaft of it just burns away. The head of it pokes into its shoulder and then melts before it's able to even dissipate from the magic. It looks down, looks at you, looks back to Aphelion.
I wink.
Dex?
It does that. It looks at me.
Wink.
Wink at it.
Okay.
Winky face.
Do you have any other attacks or bonus actions to make
I can't
against
do
it?
that. Let's see. Multi
Do you
attack.
get multi-attack with your bow?
I think I do, but
With a weapon? Multi-attack.
let me just
weapon.
verify. Whenever you take the attack action, so yeah, I'll
Okay.
give it some pepper.
Okay.
21 again.
21 does hit? Yep.
This time, there's 6 damage.
Ooh.
All right. Was that max damage?
No,
Okay.
it's a D8 plus 2. So
Nice. All right. Okay, so that does bring us to Aphelion, and then Alondor, you'll be after Aphelion. Aphelion stays in his steely-eyed glance towards towards this creature, staring him down after taking the brunt of the flames off of it. Turns to you, Kael,
What are you doing?
and he runs forward and makes 2 attacks with his massive scimitar. That was a weird sound.
That was an acorn.
And
a leaf
that
combo.
will be 2 attacks, so. Okay, cool, that will hit. However, that will not. One of them cuts across the chest of this creature, rears back, and the second one he swings forward and it spins the axe around and catches the scimitar. Roars forwards towards him. The other one ready to swing. And that is all of his stuff. So Elongvar, what shall we
All right,
do at this moment?
I am going to back up 10 feet and then cast Hunter's Mark and attack it.
Okay.
That is a. Where is that? So 24 to hit.
24 does hit. All right, you guys actually have pretty good hits. Was that with Woostabest?
That was with Woostabast.
Okay. So Elongvar fires the bow. You hear the familiar. As it whistles and then thunder blast.
14 points of damage.
Okay. Highest damage that it's taken so far. Surprisingly. 14. And then it does that
14.
strength thing, right? The additional properties of Woostabest.
Yeah, like if it,
So yeah, Woostabast.
I have a feeling
It'll.
It won't.
Well, it's supposed to. It won't blow him back. I don't think. Will it? So
What's this?
It's a strength save, I thought.
where's it at?
Click on it.
It's a 13.
He's 13.
DC 13 strength save or be pushed back 10 feet.
Oh, push back. Gotcha.
It hits into its chest and goes. Looks down at it and then just glares at you along the
I
wall.
just picture the ripple effect you see from like the guy getting hit by the cannonball. Like
It
you know,
doesn't even do
it just
that. Like, it just like there's a flash of kind of this bluish arcane thunder energy, and there's no movement.
no movement. Like the skin doesn't move.
It's like it
Okay.
hits stone,
Okay.
and he does not move in any capacity. Do you have any other moves, Alondor?
I do, but before I do that, it says, get its threats. I don't think this is our fight. And I will shoot it once more.
Okay.
It is. What's that? 16 to hit.
That was a happy sound.
16 does not hit.
Aw.
He claps, but he says no.
Yay! No.
No. I missed it.
You fail. What?
D8 for what?
So
Off the slayer.
That's for
brings
that's for
two
damage, and I can do that once. I did that on the first.
Right.
I did
All
that on
right,
the first
well,
one.
I see these boys aren't going to give up their fight. And I will attempt to cast Banishment on it. You attempt to send one creature that you can see within range to another plane of existence. The target must succeed on a Charisma saving throw or be banished. Charisma a 12.
a what?
Charisma is 12.
So that's to beat 12 charisma.
Yes.
Oh my god, it rolls a 1. Is it like.
I hope this happens. Because in my head, I know how I want this to play out. But you know how my luck goes.
You conjure your hands in front of you, attempting to send out this banishment spell. As you do, this reddish black energy shoots forth from Maze's hands, twisting and spinning throughout the air, blasting into the face of this creature, who sucks in the energy, smiles slightly.
Okay, so I see why he's that charismatic. He could smile.
He's so.
Damn it.
He looks very happy.
Yeah, I was trying to banish him so we can move on, and then he'll poof back.
Actually, was not too far off. I mean, compared, you said 12, but
Yeah, that's what it
lowest
says.
roll was a 17 out of the 2 that it gets,
Oh,
or something like that.
gotcha.
So that brings us back to it,
Okay.
which, you know what? I'm gonna do this. Okay, lucky you. So it still focuses right on Athalion and just takes its 3 swings with the axe.
Oh, shoot. I never
And
got to finish what I was doing. Oh, well.
Am I adjacent? No, I'm just kidding. Has to be a melee
I
attack.
was to say, no, you're not. Yes, this is melee attack, but no, you're not. That is, its attack is
That was
the.
part of my idea. He attacks 3 times? Oh no,
Yeah.
Sentinel.
No.
That's true.
Okay,
You gotta be
so
right next to him though.
it hits
be
Next or
again
behind him.
on Athalion.
If it were melee,
No.
if it were any kind of ranged attack, or any kind of attack of opportunity, as long as I'm next to Athalion when he gets attacked.
Okay.
Bo, bo, bo.
Yeah, you said you were like came up to the side. So.
Yeah, I went off to the side. 'Cause
Oh,
it
okay.
didn't say ranged attack.
Okay.
But you know, demon's discretion, you gotta ask.
Perfect. So, that is its turn, and Kael,
Yep.
you again.
And
as it does, it strikes with all 3 axe hits against Athalion. You can see it cutting into his flesh as he takes these hits.
how's he looking?
Not good, actually. Not good, actually.
Not gonna do anything really stupid. I'm just gonna. Shooting with the bow is so ineffective.
Not for you, no.
Well, I mean, like,
Which is kind of surprising overall, but
It goes from from strength to dexterity. Yeah.
I think if I had like a compound bow, I could use strength, but
well,
You can summon one.
it's not good.
Right. Hold
You
on.
could technically probably summon a ballista theoretically.
Yeah. Ooh.
well then.
Which I believe does exist in there, so that might just be me giving you a little give you there.
You're gonna need it, is what he said.
If you want a ranged attack, a ballista is probably the only thing that makes sense here other than intense magic.
Yeah, I don't. Let's see, we are looking for weapon. And it does. Okay, yeah, load more. So ballista is not in the. You wouldn't let us have an antimatter rifle, would you?
Not a rifle, no. They don't exist yet.
Antimatter bow. I'm just kidding.
Antimatter bow.
That's from the future.
Yeah.
You scried it.
Let's see. My guess is that I can use a pepper box.
No.
Not in this universe.
Pepper box is actually from something else. It is a pistol, though.
Yeah, there's no
Okay.
stat
I'm
block
actually kind
on,
of surprised it doesn't have that.
on the scorpion or the ballista. So
That's interesting. Woostabast comes up and he starts to bow. You've seen Woostabast. I wonder if I could make that part of the thing. That would be really interesting.
Whoa. Wow.
yeah, no.
You can summon my bow.
It's just like
He summons everyone's weapons.
it's like this summoning isn't
Give that back.
conjuring a magic weapon. It's like taking weapons from other people. That would be wonderful.
Sir Nesto.
And they're fighting.
Called the legendary rule of the gathering, where you can't have
More than one instance of an item.
more than one legendary item
Right.
or creature on your side of the board.
Okay.
But
So
we're
what
not
are you
gonna
going to do,
that.
Kael?
So
What options do you have at your disposal here that you were choosing to enact?
I'm going to quickly ask Nethreshara, where are you? Just a
Almost in
quick
an
response.
answer to that, you see the skies above you, just kind of this like pulsing of colored energy that pushes back the clouds a little bit. You hear no physical answer to that, but you see that happen.
All right, I think that's the signal. We should probably continue on to the keep.
Right, disengage. Let's go.
Okay.
We can just back up.
All right. So as you guys go to step away, Thalion kind of squares back up against it.
Now, with no distractions, I will destroy you.
And he raises his scimitar up over his head, and you guys turn the corner, and that's the last you see of that fight. Running forward, you start to crest over the next level. You start to hear this chanting. It's very quiet at first, but you do notice it. And it gets louder and louder, echoing through the valley.
Om Kathaka, Om Kathaka, Om Kathaka.
And just continues to get louder and louder. Suddenly it's followed by this massive war horn. The side of one of the mountains off to the west explodes higher up than you would ever expect for a party of dwarves. It bursts forth with a flow of water, exploding from the sides of it and rushing down. Just tens of feet right behind the front of it, a massive black ship, warship of types, seems to be structured out of wood but blackened, bursts out of the side of the mountain. It's a 3-masted galleon. It comes out, and you see at the front, even from this distance, you can see this silver-robed, white-bearded dwarf waving his arms and hands in front of it. conjuring the water.
Controlling water.
Send it.
Look at that.
And as the ship fully launches out of there, you see a black velvet cloaked, black bearded, crazed eyed dwarf handing onto the helm, his other hand, a large golden axe that he slams down into the deck, and it lights up into fire. As this happens, the sails unfurl into a deep crimson color, the image of a flaming skull that has a thick black beard on top of two crossed golden axes. This appears to be Captain Rugrek and the ship that he briefly mentioned. I don't know if you guys actually picked up on his other ship from from that episode.
Right, he did mention something about like being in other places, doing other things.
As the ship hits the water of the Lake of Dreams, it sends up a spray of glistening water into the air. It speeds forward. The speed of this ship is unseen, even by you, who have seen very fast ships in Marikos. The ship slams into the moored ships that are here at the base of the pier of Nethreshara. It hits it, bursting into the side, causing that ship to start sinking. It topples over and crushes into the other one, the mass of the demonic-styled warships cutting into the other one. As this happens, there is from the side of Rugrak's ship, metal projectiles shoot from the ship, bursting holes in the wall on the western side, hitting with intense precision on the towers. In the precision that they hit with, it knocks off the rusted, spiked metal coverings, and they slam into the ground below, not damaging the towers themselves. This reveals the beauty of the elven construction beneath, that iridescent coloring that you had heard so much about, that matches the coloring of Mithresa's armor.
And I'm flying, so I see all of it.
Yep, and you guys see it too, but you see everything. You actually are the one that sees that the shots going higher are actually hitting these structures here and revealing the true sight of them. The two of you see that the walls are being shot in by this black ship. At this point, a different horn sounds from the east. And you start to see now, Kael specifically, the others' slight motions of white-clad individuals climbing over the eastern ramparts here, bows drawn, shooting out towards the creatures that are flying from the sky, and now the ones that are coming out of the windows. All around you, you're seeing little faces popping out of the windows, looking down at you in this kind of excited, like, frenzy. Not jumping out yet, but staring down at you. You look forward. You, at level with this individual that is red-skinned, winged, roughly humanoid in size, holding a black-shafted, curved and gnarled spear. He looks forward, eyes angry. This looks like a very familiar individual, matching almost exactly the one that you had seen and Kael had beheaded, a Cambion from the woods. This one, though, has black swirled tattoos all up its arms, no sleeves, its chest of armor, and it has this massive scar across one eye, but the eye itself is still intact, blazing like hot coals. It comes down and lands in front of the two of you that are still on the ground, just maybe 10, 15 feet away. As it lands, the moment its feet touch the ground, it sticks its hands out to its side, and two shadows appear off to each side. Coalescing from those shadows are two massive wolf-like creatures. However, they have their ribs exposed, and you can see this glow of reddish orange from their internals. Their mouths and eyes glowing as well. The spikes that protrude from them at odd angles are this kind of like blackened, bony color, and on their tails you see these massive stingers like a scorpion. And they kind of whip from side to side as these hound-like creatures step forward, each one of their shoulders slightly over his head.
You must have a death wish coming here. After slaying my brother.
We do have a death wish. It is for you to die.
Good luck with that.
Kind of readies itself. Roll initiative again.
I see all this unfold, right?
Yeah, you're right there.
man.
Like, you're just above them.
Right.
You're not crazy.
Maze is distracted today.
Amazing distraction.
The encounter builder goes on D&D Beyond. I did the encounter builder, which actually the encounter builder got super better.
Good.
They
Yeah,
improved it to where now when you go to your encounters, you can actually see all the character sheets for the things you put in there instead of just the characters. Remember when I said I need the character sheets, not just the character? Now they have it.
Yes.
So I'm super stoked.
They heard us.
Yes.
Real.
Your voice was heard.
Yeah, right. Maybe.
Or, you know, they were working
Or others. Yeah.
probably working
That's more likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, alpha. What is beta now? I don't know.
I think it's beta.
Charlie.
Was alpha, now it's beta. Yeah. I think when I was complaining, it was an alpha still. So
Yeah.
you know.
Things happen.
And so now let us get the handy dandy pin ready and go to our next battle here. So anybody above 20?
What's that?
I actually need
For when we make attack rolls.
wee beasties here as well.
Right, these things have double digits?
Okay, so that's an interesting situation here. So
I don't like how he's saying that.
anybody 15 to 20?
I am a 20.
Nice.
Wow. They do exist.
As he lands, Ilandwar, you're ready with your bow. Do what you will. Anybody 0 to 15, just tell me.
0 to 50.
13.
3.
13, 3. Okay.
This many, my lord.
That's what your bonus is?
Yeah. I rolled a 2. My initiative's
you got
plus 1.
Pick number 3.
I mean, the lowest I can roll get is a 5. So,
Wait.
so weird.
Pick number 3? Oh,
How do you do? No, I am a 3.
oh, you were
But it
like,
was 3, my lord.
Okay.
I rolled a 2.
I will shoot it with Woostabast. Shoot the main guy.
Okay. So you fire at this red-skinned individual who's snarling at you.
Natural 20.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Your,
Natural 20.
your other thingy? Your damage.
Damage. Let's see. Let's see. So I do.
And what's the save specifically? What does it fall under?
I
it
think
a
it's strength save.
it is a
Okay.
strength save, yeah.
He does save against it,
Okay.
but he will take all of your damage that you have from the bow itself.
Is that a critical?
Yeah.
20 is right, yeah.
Yep. Do this. We do that. Oh, I didn't say the thing, but yeah. Well, I didn't do a hunter's mark yet.
That's unfortunate on,
Can you do that as a
Oh God.
bonus?
on a bonus beforehand hitting.
Yeah.
Zap.
And I did. That's a terrible roll. That's a total of 9 points of damage.
Okay, 9 points of damage.
I will then cast Hunter's Mark
Okay.
and shoot it again. And now that it's damaged, I can do that.
Yeah.
Extra damage. 17 plus 9 is
Good lord.
plus 9.
Hits.
Yes.
Yeah.
26.
Said 17, and I was like, oh god.
Well, that hit.
That's not going to hit. And then you said plus 9.
Plus 9.
And he claps for you. Yes. It hits.
17 doesn't hit.
He's not hitting. I'll give you that one. And he makes the save on the blast.
25 points of damage.
Dang. On the non-crit.
Yeah, because I have Colossal Slayer, so I gotta roll a D8 because he's already taken damage, and then also Hunter's Mark, so that's a D6.
Yeah.
I rolled a 2 and a 1.
Okay, I was going to say.
So it was terrible.
So you said 25?
25 points of damage.
Okay. Wow, that's a good hit. Very good hit. Okay. Kael.
Alright. Well, I just kind of dive down, get out, Cobb with a sword.
Yeah, okay. The sword conjures into
tries to
Kael's
kebab
hands.
him.
You see the greenish energy
Like a Valkyrie.
That's just cobbling.
and he's spearing down towards the red-skinned individual.
Yep. Oh look, it's a natural 20.
Yes.
Wow.
It's the only way I get to see this.
Wow.
Okay, wonderful.
He said it too. Like we were natural 20s when we attacked.
Awesome.
And then 11 plus 9. No, not 9. 7. 18.
18 total? Okay. Okay. And I assume you're multi-attacking this?
Right. Well, those are both my attack rolls.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then I'm gonna do the crit damage.
Oh, those
And
are
then
your
the
attack
non-crit.
rolls. You haven't actually done the damage yet.
Right.
So what was the second one?
18.
Does not hit.
Okay.
What was your first?
18
Your first nat 20.
It was a nat 20,
18.
yeah.
Okay, cool. We're on the same
Yep.
page. Second one does not hit.
Yep. That way I'm just rolling dice.
Yeah, I get you. My bad. I should have known
I
that.
am going to smite.
Okay.
You mentioned that he was brother.
Yeah.
You throw his brother's head at him.
Do you still have that?
Let me make sure.
Do you have its head?
Doomp. He does.
You kept it?
He kept
Oh,
it.
Jesus.
Yep.
Hey, at least I didn't keep my balloon animal.
2d8 plus another 1. Alright. I need 3d8.
Do you have that, maybe?
Yep. And plus 1 if I want to do second plus 1.
The fun part of a nat 20
Alright.
as a paladin.
See, I never roll high enough for attack, so I don't need all
so
that extra
that's
dice.
8 on that plus 9, so 9 weapon damage
17.
times 2.
18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's a plus 1.
Yeah, that's right.
Wait, no, it's plus 4.
Wait, so do you get your?
So you double the dice.
Wait, you double the dice.
That's 18, right?
You know what? I
I thought
missed.
it was you double the attack
Dice.
damage.
You double the dice.
Yeah, you double the dice. I missed
what you double.
I missed four damage
Add
on
the
the.
ability modifier.
And then you add all the modifiers on top of that.
I missed 4 damage on my first attack.
Like, to the
Too bad.
Did
damage.
it next
Yeah.
time?
Yeah.
Alright,
I remember it on the second attack,
and then
but
these are dice.
Yep. So every dice gets doubled on a crit.
16.
Can you re-roll the one with your
'Cause that's your
savage?
smite, right?
Oh, that's weapon damage only.
would the Roostabast, like the 1d6, be doubled also, or is it just the base attack?
So every dice gets doubled.
Okay. No, so I missed
So
5 points
everything.
damage.
Well, sort of. Yeah, kind of. So
It was only a 1. So I only missed-
64.
64? Okay.
Yikes.
Would have killed the brother.
Yeah.
However, this one
Apparently this is the older brother.
Fancy.
is the older brother.
He's the elder brother. He's
He
got a
is-
scar already.
Clearly, based on his attire, his position within the city, and the pack that he has under his control, a much higher level than his brother. And he still
wait.
stands, damaged,
Hold on.
but still stands.
Am I flanking him?
Not with any, well,
Because the way
where
he
did you
landed.
land?
Behind him.
If you landed behind him, then he's shot, so no, you're not flanking.
No, yeah, I wasn't next to him.
But if someone moves up, then they would be flanking with you, and vice versa, on like the next round, basically. So if Maze runs up to him, she's flanking.
Which we know that because I know what you're doing. We've fought together before.
Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to know, like, by the way, I did land behind him. I didn't
Positionally,
think
you landed
anyone
behind
was
him
in
into
front of him.
Yeah, I didn't think you would land in front. That didn't make sense.
Yet, I
Yeah.
assume.
That's why I crit. That's why I
Yeah.
crit, because I was like,
It does fit well too, because I mean you were dive bombing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was all mad at you guys.
However,
I'm like,
now you are
look
in
up.
the midst of all 3 of these individuals, having cut into the back of the Cambion. He leans, jolts forward with the damage. The 2 hound-type individuals, snarling and dripping spittle from their mouths, turn and look right at you on either side. Their eyes kind of causing the space around you to almost glow. Even though it is somewhat day, it's still dimly lit here because of the smoke cover. And it makes this whole area kind of glow red as their eyes focus in on you.
And as a bonus action,
But wait, there's more.
Misty
step.
Not a rogue.
Misty step. No, just kidding.
Good, yeah.
Misty
Yes,
step
you
3
could.
feet into the air because I can fall.
And then come back down.
And then just.
Theoretically,
Do it again.
but anyways,
No, that's not. I want to save my spell slots for
Yeah.
damage. I will cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay, perfect.
In
That
case
adds
now I'm
AC
close.
to you. Okay, perfect.
So it is now 20.
Keep track of that. And that brings us to one of the hounds. And to a change in the story. As you turn, facing each one of these, you cast the spell to enhance your strength here. One of them turns and starts to step towards you, the other one watching behind you. As this happens, you hear this kind of echo through the city, kind of stops for a second, and then out from one of the alleyways, a massive white winter wolf bursts forward, crushing over a few crates, launches into the neck of the one that was just about to bite onto you, ripping on it and tearing and kind of clawing and pawing at it, jumping off of his back. A beautiful elven woman, auburn hair flowing in the wind, pulling a bow from her back and shooting at the other one on your other side.
Kira?
In the same motion, throwing the bow back over her shoulder, drawing out 2 short swords and slicing across the front of the red-skinned individual, coming to a knee and sliding across, turning back, swords at the ready, facing him. Kira is here.
Yay.
Looking up above in a moment
Who's
here,
a
you
good
see
boy?
other...
The goodest boy is here too, though. That's the big thing.
You see Rallis is here. He's the white winter wolf. You see the green-clad hooded rangers up above shooting at the individuals that were flying, as you notice that they had just started to descend down and now start to kind of pick back up as some of them are picked off with arrows. That brings us to the Cambian's turn. Who does takes the hit from Kira as she slices through, looks at her for a moment, looks back at you. You are the one I want. And I have to reread this
Just
to make
like
sure how you have to do it. He is going to utilize
Wait, so he gets to go again?
one of his abilities.
Karen hasn't gone yet.
Oh, he
So
hasn't
he hasn't
gone
gone yet. No.
Oh, okay.
I opened up.
and then, and then,
That's
and then,
right. Okay.
So-
I was like, I thought he went already.
Why is this not telling me a thing? Okay, wisdom save. So you need to make a wisdom save of... Where is his daggum thing? I don't want to mess this up again just because, like, I'm going to mess it up. 13, I believe it is.
Bummer. 11.
11.
Yep.
Okay. So, oh no, it's actually 14. I found it.
11.
That
Still 11
doesn't
over
change.
here.
As he points out at you,
But first, we'll play. Kill her.
and he points to Kira. And you are now compelled to rush forward and attack Kira. With your sword, at as full of power as possible with your sword, not using up any of your spell slots.
Does he do this now or on his turn?
He will do this. Let me specifically read the thing. I believe it's instantaneous, but I'm not entirely sure. It's not popping up here, so let me pull it up.
Fortunately, he just went though.
On your next turn. So on your next turn, you have to attack Kira. And you're attempting to kill her, basically, is what you are fully
Yeah,
enveloped
unless-
in doing.
Something else happens, probably.
Right.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
Yes.
I don't have anything.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Wow. Yeah, that's that play. Sweet. So that is actually its turn, and brings us around to Maze.
What I noticed that
Yeah.
he.
Wait, where are you?
Well, no,
I
only
didn't put
one
you
of
on
the
here 'cause
dogs
I was
went.
next to you, but I didn't put you on
She's
here.
at the bottom with
knew you were
the
at the
3.
bottom.
I rolled a
Anyway.
massive 3. That's like.
I was confused.
That is this. I almost used one
She
whole.
rolled so bad she doesn't even get to go.
I know, not at all. Do I notice that he basically controlled Kael? Like, would I see his focus turn towards her?
Make a perception roll. We'll say this just happened in the moment, as opposed to being a
Maybe
wasted
insight,
action or anything.
whichever's better.
Insight, perception. or
My
insight.
perception would be an 18.
It based on what you know of these kind of powers. You see this kind of change in Kael's eyes, to where they like gloss over as he says this, and points towards Kira, and he he brings his sword up and just stares at her.
I would like to cast Dispel Magic on Kael.
Okay.
I don't know how that will work because I choose one creature within any spell third. I would do this at 4th level because, it's a pretty high level. The DC equals 10 plus the spell cast, which would be a 14. On a successful check, the spell ends.
Okay.
So you're
So do I roll or he roll?
So let me read it for myself just so I can
Yeah.
completely get it. Again, don't want to mess it up at all here.
Oh, wait. If I cast a 4th level or higher, you automatically end the effects?
And utilize a 4th level spell.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I was using. But
Do you want to use it at 4th
yeah,
level?
That's she already had said.
he's our tank guy.
Okay. So
nukes
with
people
whatever
and is
flavor
sneakier
and
than everyone
flair
else.
you want to address the Cambion with, the spell.
I do the the Ned
that
like
his brother did.
yes.
Yeah, that's true.
That's perfect. So that happens, and he kind of turns and looks at you.
And can I follow that up as a bonus action to pull up my potion and go, this looks like a dog fight, bottoms up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I drink it.
Because that's cool as shit.
And yeah, I'm gonna become not a werewolf. I'm gonna go the dire wolf, so I could get pack tactics since there's other wolves around. Because I can't remember if I get that as humanoid.
You would get it regardless. Plus, you have pack tactics is just the same as flanking. They can be beside you instead of directly across from you. So again, you can choose whichever form you want. I believe.
The spell breaks, I see her transform and go, come on, Mace.
So, are you taking the canine form or the humanoid, like demonic hybrid form?
It was even werewolf form.
Nice, the hybrid
Yeah,
form.
the
You
hybrid
see
form.
Maze as this spell drops, and he turns and makes that comment towards her,
And then I drink.
only to have his eyes go wide as Maze, hair bursting off of her body expanding and extending, the skeleton of her structure like bursting through her spine, through her back for a moment, and then skin forming over it and hair growing, the wings, dark pink, leathery, flop out of her back, flap into the air. Claws all stick
Get my
out.
nails did.
That kind of iridescent pink with a little sparkle to them. Her eyes flare slightly, her snout extends, and she now has these large fangs. Her horns remain but grow farther back and curl more in a straighter pattern as opposed to the loop that they have previously. Staring him down at 9 feet tall.
Oh, a 9 feet. Nice. That's all I can do. I can't do anything else. I got summoning
And
sickness.
That brings us.
Quick question.
Yes?
Does my stat block change when I'm in an altered form?
Yeah.
What are the changes again?
Does yours not show?
I
Does
believe
strength go up?
it is a +2 to strength.
Okay.
Yeah, for me it's like plus
It's a
2.
+2 to strength gives you a +5 total.
Oh.
Wait.
Does yours not
Plus 2 to
show
my
up?
modifier?
Yeah, so like
Okay.
everything on your strength is +2.
Okay.
So instead of a +5 being your base, or instead of a +3 being the base, it's a +5 being the base. So,
All right, that's fine.
Oh, we need to add an altar form for you.
Yeah, that's true. It sounds very familiar.
get rid of the
Yes.
Valor that you guys tried to fight earlier. Take that off my screen.
He gone.
And
We could have killed him.
Kira.
Could have totally killed him.
But at this point, the other one of the hounds sees this transformation.
It's
take
a
place,
transformation now.
and it will. Darn! I closed the encounter.
I broke it. Ha!
See, it's going to rush forward and attack at you,
Okay.
and it is beta now. Nice.
Did it run by Kira?
Yeah. And
Some attack of some opportunity.
yeah. And it is going to make 2 attacks. First, it's going to bite towards you, and that one is going to be a 11.
That hits, because that's exactly my AC.
11?
Yeah, AC is my 11.
Your AC didn't go up with that?
My normal AC is 12.
She's bigger now.
Yeah, so my normal AC in human form is, or
Oh, yeah, okay.
yeah, in tiefling, but in
right.
altered I'm
Cool.
11.
That makes sense.
It's my wolf form that's the 13.
Okay. So it jumps forward and bites into you.
I'm already a wolf.
Doing. Where is that die? Oh, that's a 12. That's not the one I want. The little top. D10s. And. Jesus, where are my D10s at? It's not good when you have to search for your dice this much, even when you have them all nice and separated like this. I still need one more. Jesus.
You still need one more.
Oh,
I know. Jeez. Let me roll a die for each tooth it has.
5. Oh.
Just a D4. No. Or 2.
Oh, wait. Yeah. No, yeah, it is D10s. 5, 10, 7, and a 6. So that's 28 points of damage.
Wow. Okay.
Against the hybrid
Holy
form.
cow.
And which we've got that as wild shape rules, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the hybrid form.
Yeah, if it dies, I don't die.
Right. You
yeah.
go back to the other thing.
Yeah.
That was 28, right? 13. Yeah, 28 points of damage on the bite. And then as it latches onto you, the stinger shoots over the top. And
This is where I wish I could do Hellish Rebuke.
I'm going to re-roll that because I basically drug it and it would have hit that because I was trying to move the other dice, so I'm not going to count that.
Get out of the way, dice.
And that's a better roll, but not a nat 20, so it hits with a 25
Jeez.
and
Oh, okay.
does...
That was not 25 damage. Okay.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, the bite was 32 points of damage.
So I
and then
did.
Tail is...
What was that? 28.
Yeah, it's another 4.
Another 4.
Oh.
yeah, another 4. The other is 11 points for the stinger as it stings into you. And need you to roll a d20
Okay.
for a Constitution saving throw.
Add 2.
18, well, plus I rolled an 18 plus his
You're
2.
Perfect, because
Yeah.
the DC is a 14.
Okay. So that'd be technically 22.
Perfect. So you feel this kind of poison seep into your body, and where it struck is kind of your shoulder area, and you feel the hand kind of lock up for a moment, and you clench it off, and it just dissipates. And that brings us back around to Elandwar.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna keep on attacking the large one. Another two shots with the bow.
Oh no.
That's a nat 1.
Okay. And you were going for the Cambion, right?
The Cambion, yes.
And then standing behind.
You're standing behind it?
Yeah, he's behind it. I'm technically in front of it.
Are you directly in front of it?
No.
Not, I wouldn't be blocking your
Situation
shots.
happening right now unless somebody steps up, and nobody's stepped up yet.
Okay. Has the one that went up and attacked Maze? Has that one already been hit by?
No.
Okay.
The other one is currently in a vicious fight with Rallis.
Okay. So I'm gonna attack the Cambion one more time.
Okay.
Oh, it's better. 17. That's a 26.
Okay, that hits.
Wow.
Math. Math.
17 does not.
17 does not, but plus plus everything else.
Oh, I guess a +5 to my strength saving throw. Pretty neat.
6.
+7 actually.
17 points of damage.
Okay.
And it needs to do a strength saving throw.
Correct. And it is that's a 9 plus 4 is 13.
That's exactly what my
So it
It
succeeds.
succeeds.
it barely
Yeah.
succeeds.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it just succeeds. It kind of slides just slightly as the
It's like, whoa, we saw that.
throughout. Just kind of looks back at you now. And Kael, it is your turn.
Well, believe it or not, I'm gonna hit it with my sword.
No, I thought you'd maybe run away or something.
Thought about it, didn't. All right, so a 25
Would hit.
That hit.
and a 13.
That does not
Does
hit.
not hit it.
What?
Even close.
How can you?
Well, there's 20 opportunities here, plus modifiers, of course. But
All right. Let's see. So on the hit, before I roll the dice, I'm gonna smite him again.
okay.
This time just to level 1. No, I don't need.
Okay.
Just a little smite.
Just a standard smite, because it comes with 3d8s because he's a fiend.
Okay.
Some variety.
Medium fiend.
What?
A medium fiend. That's his variety.
I'm going to reroll a 2.
Feeding.
8 weapon fighting.
Ooh, that's much better.
Oh, yeah. Great weapon fighting. He gets to reroll.
So there's 11, 21,
I wish I had a picture of all these
24
dice out here
plus
right now.
5.
That you're using?
No, plus 6.
9, 10, 11, 12,
was
13,
it?
14, 15. I have
24.
16 dice up.
30.
Wow.
30?
0. 94 damage. What are you guys at?
It's your little minis along
I'm
with
only
like
at
your
like
dice
50.
trays. You're like, okay,
I mean,
this
I
is
am
this
like a
mini.
slaying
That
expert.
way,
Right,
okay,
yeah,
so that way you know what it is.
4. I hate math.
God, I need to paint our minis because I got all this Critical Role minis.
Oh yes, you haven't painted those
I
yet.
haven't painted those yet. They're still in the package.
I got my little
Doing actual paper math right now. This is weird.
Carry the 1.
I literally just had to carry one.
Borrow the 1.
I want to abacus next time. Instead of just, we'll just abacus. Like,
Ooh.
Abacus the Atticus.
that's how we start mathing.
Okay. So,
I should have worn socks with flip flops because my feet are getting chewed on.
he is still alive.
I feel happy. Gonna go for a walk now.
And it is one of the beasts' turn. However, it's the one that's fighting Rallis, so it's basically
Grappled.
Rallis next to me.
yes.
Technically,
And Rallis actually goes right afterwards, as well as does Kira. Kira, seeing the one attack Maze, is going to fire her bow at it. And
Not me.
that is definitely going to hit and be damaging. So
It will be damaging.
yeah.
It will inflict damage.
Okay, and
damages.
then this was why I paused, because there is a thing I'd had in my head about how he would do this if he got to this point. However, there's the conflict of he wants revenge. So
Bummer.
We will find out what he does in this moment. Is it self-preservation, or does his rage overtake his better judgment?
Ooh. Would he like to rage?
We'll use the amazing
throw
brass
his
coin that
brother's-
comes in the
I know, I'm like
collector's set from
smack him with
Reckless
his
Head.
brother's head.
His head at him.
That would influence.
Do you?
Yeah.
He's like, forget the coin flip then.
Flip again. Okay. He stays.
Good.
Clearly he didn't like his
this round.
brother that much.
And
Tries to run cast command.
Stay and die.
he's going to turn to you after you throw the head at his feet, looks at it, and he slaps his hands onto your onto the sides of your head. In this higher form, he's just like, "Ah!" and like pulls you down towards him, his claws digging into the sides of your neck now. And to verify if that does. Ooh. Dirty 20. Not a nat 20. And
Which
he
hits.
will
Barely.
take.
Like a rebuke or something.
4.
Actually, do I turn the shape?
So you lose 18 points of health
Okay.
as you see this blackish energy that Maze you're very familiar with seep into the side of Kael's
Would this
face.
be considered a spell?
And then, yes,
It is.
All right.
and then
Oh, but wait. No.
flows
the raw
back
number?
into the red skin here, all of the veins bulging black. And some of the wounds start to kind of close up.
Real quick, before we get too crazy here, so this is considered a spell.
When I use quite a bit.
He's scrolling. He's scrolling.
Resistance to damage from spells is 18 the raw number, or post resistance?
Shoot.
The 18 damage that I'm taking.
18 is the straight up.
Okay, so I take 9.
Okay, so you take 9.
God, that reminds me. I had immunities I didn't use.
Oh.
I have immunity to bludgeoning, slashing, like piercing.
It's like,
So I took more damage than what was needed.
I don't know what you're doing with this necrotic.
Yep. And
I gotta remember that.
have to rewrite his stuff.
You have resistance to bludgeoning?
Oh, me? I have damage immunities, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing
Oh, in that form?
from non-magical attacks, and so I probably should have taken a lot less damage than what I did.
That's fine.
But
Actually, that creature
unless it's a magic.
attacks are considered magical.
Oh, they are? Okay, then yeah, everything's fine.
It's a magical beast.
Yeah, he's
That's why I was wondering how that worked.
literally like just
Yeah, it is.
molten lava
Weapon attacks
looking.
are magical.
Okay, cool, because I was like, oh, crap. I didn't think of that, so nope, I'm good.
So,
Oh, hey, bug.
it's turn.
Oh man. Oh
gonna-
man. Cicada.
Hey.
Cicada.
Hey, why do you, come on. You know what? Go!
Yes,
I hate bugs.
amazing.
It was coming towards you. I saved you, Kael.
Well, I'm like I was reaching down.
Slowly.
That's why I grabbed it with my hand.
Once it cleared here, then break your stuff.
It can't hurt, so I just grabbed it. It landed
Maze
somewhere
thing to
over
do.
there.
You're like, you know what?
That's how Maze would have really handled it. I would be
That's
like,
exactly how I'm
no.
No, go this way. No, go this way. Go fuck. We're going this
Go
way.
this way.
I'm like,
I did. I was worried that I was going to hit you. It did like hurt.
Hashtag D&D outdoors.
exactly. This is going to definitely be clipped and
Man,
put out.
locusts are not graceful at all. This thing was like breakdancing.
The creature that is latched onto Mezakine is going to
Can I just pick it up and throw it? Like, no, I'm kidding. No.
You get inspiration for that, actually. So, figure out what
We'll remember that later.
yeah, and then this one is going to bite at you. You know, here's what I'll do. Instead of inspiration, I'll give him disadvantage on every attack against you here.
That's
So
funny.
he goes to do the first one, and and that is terrible. And the second one would hit, but
Is it
so
at
on
it?
the disadvantage, it
Yeah.
went from a 20 to
Ooh.
a 2.
Oh, that sounds like my rolls.
Advantage.
It's like, oh, look, I got a 20. You're like, but you have
It
disadvantage.
goes to bite at you, and you punch down on top of its head, just, and it swings its tail up to you, and you catch the stinger. Just kind of squeeze a little bit of it out on top of its own head.
Oh, that's mean enough. I would do it.
Let go of it and then
And
step
then
up.
spike its hair.
Now it is your turn.
Okay, it is my turn. I'm not
spike its
like
will.
I'm not grappled or anything, right? All right, so I'll go ahead and do my multi attack, which would be 2 attacks basically.
Perfecto.
All right, so just roll the d20 twice, like what he does. I just figured it'd be easier. Ugh, that was a 7. Nope. Oh, and that was a nat 20 on my second one. So my first, which would, I think there's an order. So my bite would miss,
Okay.
but then my claw attack would hit with a d20,
Roll the.
which is
Damage?
no, it's a d20, but it's 2d4, right?
Plus 4, I think.
And then plus 4.
Yeah.
So roll the
What?
two.
Okay.
Yeah, you roll the dice, double the dice.
Does double that, and then add
Oh, that was
4.
There's a 4 and a 3 there. So double the dice, right?
That's 14.
14.
Okay.
And then you add 4, so 18.
Okay, 18.
Perfect. And you are magical weapons as well because of your form, so
You are
werewolf.
that
Oh.
actually does
being-
full damage too.
I've done damage.
However, it is a very strong individual. And as a point of note, however, though, Rallis is much stronger.
Okay.
And he has effectively ripped the throat out of this
Question.
one, basically
Okay.
beheading it to where all that's left attaching it to its body is its actual spine there.
On the pack tactics, does that mean I could re-roll my lower one? How does that work? Because my first one was a 7.
Attack tactics is advantage. So
Is that
But are you actually flanking?
She's next to me.
But
actually you're flanking with Kira.
no,
Because it jumped over
It
her.
did,
She
okay.
cut underneath of it.
so? Does that mean I could re-roll that first
yeah.
one? Okay. Watch it be like
See
a
what
2.
happens. It's gonna be nat 20.
No, it's a 1. So that was even worse. Hey, so
Something.
that 2 was better.
Perfect.
So yeah, nothing
The events
changed.
that transpires, they transpired.
Yep.
Elandor, what will you be doing?
Whoop, whoop. I will. Let's see. So which one looks the most hurt right now?
The one that's got its throat ripped out from Rob.
Well, okay, that one's dead,
Yeah.
but
Like in the process of it
Dying?
out.
right.
Really not- like there's
I
no.
will shoot that one.
The,
Maybe I will, but
Well, the guy would have his
he's
back
been
towards
hit.
you.
Yeah, he's been hit a lot. I'm gonna shoot.
He's
I'm gonna
looking
shoot
at
him in the
Kael.
back.
Okay.
I'm also going to do sharpshooter.
Okay.
So
Does that gives you?
a -5 to my attack and +10 to my damage if I hit.
So he's aiming for the head.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that's a
He's a squirrel jumped out of the tree.
I do the same thing.
21 to hit.
No.
That hits.
It just jumps here and takes the acorn.
+10 to the damage of this. Oh, these are all terrible rolls.
Something sounded like it was playing bongos out there, like doop doop doop. That noise. Oh, it's that thing moving.
21
Jim.
I was like,
21 points of damage.
I can hear the music of the woods.
So my first attack.
It's like weird.
And they also got hit with Boost Bast again, so he needs to do another save.
And have you added the damage for that already?
Yes.
Did you add Hunter's Mark?
I rolled a yes. It was a 2, a 2, a 2, and a 1 on my
That doesn't sound like
my
a lot.
attack rolls.
Those are my damage rolls.
The +10 was most of it.
Gotcha.
So what happens here is you fire your bow and it blasting him forward into Kael's chest and he hits the ground and is now laying on the ground prone but alive.
Ah,
Barely.
nice. Okay,
But it doesn't knock him down, right?
Not even close.
Okay.
Opportunity?
I'm well, with my second
Since
attack.
you didn't intentionally leave your area. You didn't leave your area at all.
You got very close to it.
Theoretically, you had
close.
bludgeoning damage for hitting your chest, but
Reflex save.
With my second attack, I'll turn my attention to the dog
okay.
that's over there.
Hey,
Avoid the disadvantage of a prone.
I'm a
range
dog.
attack.
No, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Which is weird, and I don't like, and maybe we'll discuss that.
My sharpshooter might take that away.
What?
The disadvantage. I think it's only a half cover.
or something. I don't know. Well,
But yeah. Anyways, I want to attack. I want to attack that. I'm not going to do sharpshooter. Just straight attack.
I'd be nervous with that. The way I roll,
Well,
I
it's also
couldn't.
like, well, if
That
I'm a little
is
bit high,
a
I'm
15 to hit.
getting
15 to hit on one of the beasties. Don't sit.
Oh, sweet.
Just over.
Sweet. I cannot do that. Yeah. Okay. 13 points of damage.
Describe the way in which you kill.
Ooh, that's well, I'm gonna be shooting it from the side. I'm gonna go right through the shoulder blades, and with the rooster blast, I'm going to then pop its head off.
So you're going to add flare as another attack there.
Hedge apple. Those are great for
so-
keeping spiders away.
Exactly. So you're meaning to use as a glaive as the final thing?
Yes.
Nice. So Woosterbast, those of you who have not seen it in person, it is actually a double-ended glaive with two curved blades on either side that, when chosen to be used as a bow, conjures a magical bowstring and conjures the arrow from that.
Oh,
When you
that's how it
don't
works.
shoot it as a bow, it is a double-sided glaive.
That's cool.
And in this moment, Elandwar shoots down on this creature and and jumps up over it, climbing its back, kicking away the stinger, and just removes its head. Stares Maze right in the eyes as it
I'm like,
kind of slumps to the ground.
My mouth is open. Although they don't hear that, they just see this wolf thing choking.
And then there was one. Get it, Struts?
Is his head like
The
next to
His
where
brother's head?
head landed?
Oh.
Based on the trajectory of where all of this happened, yes. Fortunately for him, yes, it is.
This means
amazing
Maze is
how this
not the
works
dark
out.
one.
I want to look your brother in the eyes one last time.
Oh.
And I swing with my blade.
Okay.
He's prone.
Swing.
So you get advantage.
So I get advantage. Okay, so that one was this is first attack. Okay, so it's plus 9. 26
to
hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Second attack. Advantage good. Advantage really good. 22.
Oh.
Okay, so they both hit. I'm gonna just try to roll all the dice. No, I can't. Don't have enough d6s. I'm gonna
Go for
Here, I
it.
got some.
I barely roll d6s. They shouldn't be cursed.
Okay. Is this a 6?
Yeah, if it's the symbol.
If it's at the
yes.
symbol, yeah, that's a 6.
So those two are staying.
I would know, but I don't touch
staying.
those.
I'm rolling that one again. It's still a 2. Okay. No smite.
Yeah, why waste it?
Yeah, why do it?
Well, I was like, he's on the ground, man.
You should be fine.
Yeah. What's the worst that could happen? He says as I like, try to
WWKD, what would Kael do?
Yeah. All right, so
Let me
12,
think here for a minute.
7, 19,
Wow.
plus 8, no, plus 12.
Lots of math.
So, what was it? 19 plus 12. 29? No, 31. 19 plus 12, 31 damage.
Describe the manner in which you
Hey, final last words. Yeah,
I told him what I was going to do to him,
cool.
and then I cut his head off.
So,
Hey,
Actually,
two of them.
almost like
Kind of like a, you know how like Ned Stark in the first episode of Game of Thrones? It's in the first episode of Game of Thrones.
Everybody's seen the first episode.
It's literally
Promo.
the first
Yeah,
second scene. Because there's the White Walkers.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the
yeah.
second
yeah,
scene
it's
is like,
just the trait.
you know, it's like he just kind of holds the great sword and then,
Bam.
and then just cleans it off.
Yep.
And then picks up both the heads and carries it with him.
Okay, so right before you swing down at this creature, it looks at you right in the eyes, and you take your foot and just twist his head over to the side, and then swing down, removing your foot at the last second and slicing through. The black blood spurts from the side and then seeps from his body, soaking the ground around him. Everything in this area is dead.
I don't know. I would like to take my oil flask, empty it, and then take the stinger and basically just pump the stinger venom into my oil flask.
Make a medicine check.
Ooh, medicine.
How well you
How will I do that?
perform this.
Ooh, that was a 19,
That's nice.
23.
Nice.
Do you know the amount of what your flask holds? Does it
The oil flask. All it says is it's a pound. I don't know what that means.
It weighs a pound.
It weighs a pound.
a pound to
Would be 16
Yeah.
ounces.
it should be 6.
You can put an oil flask
weight.
on the ground to cover. Well, no, it says to cover a 5-foot square, which I'm.
1 pint. It holds 1.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. Yeah, first line. I skipped. I skipped
holds
the
1 pint.
1 pint. A pint of poison.
Which is basically a half liter.
A liter of cola.
Yeah, you know, half liter of
liter.
half liter of poisons.
Okay. Need to figure out how to
A
add that.
significant amount of poison.
Can you put a
basically.
label on it that says "Do not drink," please?
And
Would you drink oil anyways? You don't want to drink anything in my bag. Trust
based
me.
on being struck with it, you already know the general properties that you can assume from it is that it is a potion of paralysis.
Okay.
So you should be able to find potion of paralysis in there, and then see the amounts and all that stuff as we go.
Okay.
However, I have a question for you guys. What I have prepared for what could happen and what will happen throughout the rest of the battle could be done tonight or could be done next week. Which would you prefer?
I'm going to say next week, please.
Okay, perfect.
Next week.
So this moment after the battle of the Shusuba? Yeah, Shusuba and the Cambion being brutally dispatched here right at this time of the arrival of Kira and her rangers from the shifting forest is exactly where we'll pick up next week, Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time right here on twitch.tv/RoleThis.
RoleThis.
And till then, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and we'll see you next time.